AI, it's not gonna take your job, babe, but it is gonna expose whether you were actually good at it in the first place. The people who are building real strategy, real results, and real customer relationships, AI just made them 10 times more powerful. I'm gonna show you the 5 skills that make you irreplaceable in the age of AI, and exactly how AI amplifies each one if you know how to use it. I've been in customer experience for 20 years. I built the CX department at Feastables by Mr. Beast from literal scratch. And I mean scratch. There was nothing when I came on board. I built and managed a chatbot that helped me automate over 1 million conversations. And now I run Open Lake Collective, a CX and retention marketing agency that works with several brands. But I'm not here to tell you which AI tools to download. I'm here to tell you what actually matters underneath those tools. The tools are gonna change every 6 months, but the skills, they don't. Now let's talk about the 5 skills that you need to deliver the soul part. The first skill and the foundation for everything is strategic thinking. Specifically knowing what to automate and what to protect. Anyone can turn on a chatbot. Anyone can flip on the AI features in your help desk, but that's not a skill. That is just clicking a button. The skill is being able to look at your entire customer journey from the moment that somebody lands on your website to 6 months later after they've made a purchase from you. And it's about making deliberate decisions about what touch points you want to automate and what touch points you want to enhance. This is what separates a CX operator from a CX leader. When I hire for my team, I don't just hire based on what you can do for the customer service team. I hire based on how proactive your thinking is. Are you a few steps ahead of the customer? Do you genuinely care about the experience they're having? And at Feastables, I was incredibly deliberate about this. Where's my order questions? Any of those where's my order questions, automate those things. Those are such low-hanging fruit items. But the product complaints, I wasn't automating those. I was sending those to real humans who have empathy, humans who can read a situation, because those are the moments that are primed to break your loyalty if you do it wrong. And no chatbot is going to make someone feel genuinely cared about. Here's how AI amplifies it when you already have it. A lot of email and SMS tools have predictive analytics that can help you predict when a customer is going to churn. So then you can take that and strategically get a human involved to proactively reach out to that customer. And help desk like Gorgeous has confidence scoring, so the AI only handles tickets that it's confident in knowing that it can handle. Everything else routes to the team. The tools give you better data to help you make strategic decisions, but the decision itself is still yours. And that's why only 25% of companies using AI have it fully integrated. It's not that the tools don't work, it's that nobody on the team has the strategic judgment to decide what should or shouldn't be automated. Strategic thinking sets the rules for the game, but there's one failure mode that AI creates that even a good strategy can't always catch. And it's the reason some brands almost implode when they automate too fast. The second skill is emotional intelligence. And I want to start with the cost of not having it, because this is where brands genuinely get hurt. When a brand over automates and doesn't give a customer access to a human, something called passive defeat happens. The customer just decides that fighting the robot isn't worth their time anymore. They don't complain, they just silently disappear. 56% of customers who have a bad automated experience just disappear, and you don't even know it. They're just gone. Poof, bye-bye. Air Canada learned this the hard way. Their chatbot gave a customer incorrect refund information. It led to a legal ruling and a public embarrassment, and a case study that people in the space are still talking about. This is what happens when you use AI and you scale it without emotional intelligence behind it. Now, here's what emotional intelligence looks like in practice. And this is a story I tell every time I talk about CX. At Feastables, our team would see an email from someone from New Jersey, and our team would say, "Hey, I'm also in New Jersey. How are you doing?" It was a personalized experience with one small detail. That's it. That's the small thing. And AI doesn't always catch that. AI is going to get straight to the point. They're going to resolve the ticket and close it out and call it a day. But that small human moment, that's what turns someone from "I just bought chocolate" into "Feastables is making me feel like I belong with this brand." And you cannot automate it. AI can detect sentiment, and it can tell you if a message has negative sentiment, but it's really only from keywords. And then it can't even read between the lines. It can't really understand if somebody were to say, "This is fine, I guess," but like, they're not going to understand that customer is one bad interaction away from leaving your brand forever. The ability to read what the customer needs versus what the customer is typing, AI can't always fix that. And that skill is irreplaceable. And here's how AI amplifies that skill. It handles the volume floor, the 80% of the interactions that are logistical and routine. That frees your emotionally intelligent team up to be able to spend more time with the customers who really need help, with the customers who are really frustrated, frustrated. Emotional intelligence protects your customers, but there is a threat that operates at the brand level and not the individual interaction level. And it's already happening right now. The third skill is brand voice and creative judgment. And at its core, it's about taste. The ability to know the difference between something that is your brand voice and something that just sounds like the internet. Here's the reality of 2026. Every brand now has the same access to the same tools that are generating the same type of content. Klaviyo can launch a campaign in 3 clicks. ChatGPT can write an email in 10 seconds. Every customer service help desk has an AI that's generating responses automatically. So what happens when everyone uses the same tools? Everyone just starts sounding the same. Coca-Cola put out AI visually stunning campaigns. Beautiful execution, but then people called them soulless. That's because AI stripped away the handcrafted storytelling that their holiday campaigns always had. Jaguar did an entire rebrand that leaned into AI-driven minimalism. And then their own customers had no idea what their brand even stood for anymore. When you let AI lead your creative without a human filter, you lose the thing that makes people care about your brand in the first place. At Feastables, everything that we put out had a Feastables brand feeling to it. The way I always described it was like this. Imagine if Mr. Beast had a child and that child was Feastables. We had to carry that energy and develop our own personality all at the same time. Every email, every chatbot message, every SMS, every piece of copy on our website had to pass one question. Does this feel right coming from us? That is a human judgment call. No algorithm makes it for you. But now here's how AI amplifies that skill. It generates those first drafts incredibly fast. What used to take a full day now takes maybe an hour. And that's because AI writes the first version, but then your team refines it. The person with the strong creative judgment becomes the most valuable person in the room and not the least necessary one. You become the human filter between the message and the brand. And in a world where everyone is running the same tools, you become the moat. Brand voice protects you from blending in. But even the strongest brand voice loses its ground if your team is always reacting. There is a proactive layer to this that changes the entire equation. And it's the one thing that I am most proud that I built at Feastables. The fourth skill is proactive thinking, or what I like to call being steps ahead of your customer. Your job is to be 5,000 feet in front of your customer at all times. And most CX teams are reactive. A ticket comes in, they close it, next ticket, repeat the same process. That's not customer experience, that is a ticket queue. The CX professionals who become invaluable are the ones who are designing the experience before that ticket ever comes in. They look at the entire customer journey and ask, where are people going to have questions? Where are they going to get frustrated? Where is the experience going to break down? And then they build solutions before those moments arrive. At Feastables, I designed the entire post-purchase journey as a brand experience, not a boring tracking page that says your package is just on its way. I built games into that order tracking page. I built SMS signups, product recommendations, content. My chatbot had a secret door. It had jokes, it had giveaways, it had fun experiences that exemplified the Mr. Beast experience. All of this was proactive. I was answering questions before they even became questions. I was engaging with customers during those dead zones while they were anticipating their packages. And that's a window that most brands go completely silent in. I was turning a normally passive waiting time into a brand experience. And the result? Reduced support volume and increased revenue at those same touch points. The same customer interaction, just reframed as a growth lever. Now here's how AI makes this skill exponentially better. AI can help you predict delivery delays and alert customers proactively. That alone is going to help you reduce Wismo tickets by at least 45%. Branded tracking pages with personalized recommendations are driving up 20% of repeat purchase revenue. Gorgeous's shopping assistant is turning conversations into other shopping moments. Akendo, Juneup, Judge Me, they're synthesizing product reviews in real time. I even caught a product quality issue 2 weeks before it became an even bigger issue for a client. And all because AI flagged the issue for me ahead of time. All of these tools accelerate proactive thinking, but who decides what goes where? Waiting time into a brand experience, post-purchase and pre-purchase. Who sees the opportunity in the dead zone? That's still a human skill. The tools are just the start, and you're the driver. Proactive thinking designs the journey. But there's one more skill underneath all of these. The one I built my entire career on. And honestly, the reason I started my own agency. And I haven't talked about it yet because we needed to lay down those 4 skills first before I can go into this one. one. The fifth skill is the one I care about the most. It's relationship building. After all the tools, all the automations, all the data, all the strategy, business is human, and it always has been. And the ability to build genuine relationships with your customers, your team, your partners, that is the ultimate AI-proof skill. AI can optimize a process. It can analyze a data set faster than a human can, but it cannot build trust. It cannot make someone feel seen. It cannot create a connection where your customer becomes an evangelist before you even ask them to. Most brands are building transactions. They're optimizing the funnel. When I look at their CX setup, there's always one thing missing. Nobody on the team is thinking about relationships. They're thinking about tickets, metrics, closing a ticket. People think CX is just support, but customer support is a component of CX. A CX person is responsible for the brand experience, and the brand experience is built on relationships. When I left Feastables and started Open Lake Collective, my relationships are what came with me. Not the tools, not the processes, not the automation workflows, the trust, the human experience. The fact that people in the industry knew what I stood for. No AI can generate that. And here's the paradox at the center of all of this. AI doesn't make human moments less necessary. It makes them more possible. The brands that I see that are winning right now aren't the ones with the best AI stack. They're the ones that used AI to create a good brand experience for their customers to keep wanting to come back. AI handles the systems, but you are the soul. And when both work together, you have a perfect synergy. So the answer to the question that everyone is asking, is AI going to take my job? It's no, but it is going to make it painfully obvious if you aren't doing a good job. The 5 skills we just covered: strategic thinking, emotional intelligence, brand voice, proactive design, relationship building, all of those skills are irreplaceable. You learn to use AI to amplify all 5 of them. That's not a defensive move. That's just gearing you up to be irreplaceable. Now, if you're watching this and you're early in your career, or you're deciding you want to make a change, watch this video.